Hello and welcome to another edition of the Boot Room, a slightly different edition of the Boot Room for a couple of reasons. For starters, I'm hosting it with Ross as my expert. What a world, what a life. And the reason Ross is the expert is because we're going to be previewing the women's game this weekend, which is really, really exciting. It's the first time that the Tractor Girls have played at Portman Road in a league game ever. Only the second time that they have played at Portman Road in any game, full stop. We're going to have a nice big crowd. Chatham Town are the visitors. Ross Halls, how are you?
I'm very well, my friend. Yeah, being called expert is it's weird, a weird feeling, but I'll take that. I'll take anything these days. So, but yeah, looking forward to it, mate. And yeah, big game. I was there when they played at Portman Road a few years back. I think 2019. But this will be a very different occasion because it's a league game, big crowd. Yeah, bring it on, my friend.
Bring it on, indeed. I mean, this, as you said, it really is a big occasion. They've timed it very well. It has been a long time coming, but positioned quite nicely in the international break as a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff, one that the club have been pushing for quite a while, and the fans have reacted well with the ticket sales. It's just built up to be such a nice day, hasn't it?
Yes, mate. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I know Joe Sheehan, the manager, has been wanting this game for a long while. I think, obviously, with the team being really affiliated with the club the last few years, Portman Road's been the question that a lot of fans even have been asking. You know, Mark Ashton, fans forums, and even Kieran McKenna gets asked that a little bit, saying, you know, when is the Town Women's team going to play at Portman Road? And yeah, we now know. Well, we're building up to it right now. But yeah, 23rd of March, 3 p.m. on a Saturday, Chatham Town the opponents. And yeah, let's bring it on again.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of nice build-up to this. We've seen comments from Mark Ashton. We've had Kieran McKenna asked about it, and everyone's kind of fully behind this. Fabio Wardley's done a nice clip I saw on social media. The club have been keen to push the ticket sales at the moment. Stands at a little over 8,500. We'll hope to have a bit of an update by the end of the day. So hopefully we can really push those numbers up. Really, really good to see that support, especially given the fact that, albeit that this is going to be a fantastic occasion, the season has kind of fizzled out a little bit for the Tractor Girls. There was a bit of hope that this could be like a really big game. They could have a quote unquote maybe easier opponent to really push them into that kind of top of the table picture, but it looks like it might not pan out that way. What have you kind of made of the last few weeks in the season so far, Ross?
Yeah, it's been one of those seasons. Last year, if you didn't know, they missed out on the league title on goal difference, which is horrible for any team. But for them to go on that amazing run, they basically did what the men's team did. They had a few, bad results, and they were like looking like they weren't going to finish that high. And then they go on a winning run, just like the men, and yeah, miss out on goal difference, which it was heartbreaking. But yeah, in the summer they lost a few players, some experienced players who made a lot of appearances for the club. So then Joe obviously had to go and try to recruit players. Of course, it's not easy in the third tier and definitely where we're based. And other clubs, looking to bring players in themselves. So obviously Joe's had to rely on some of the young players, which have been fantastic. But yeah, this season had a bad start, a few defeats, and you only got 22 games you play all season in this division. So if you lose even 2 games, you're always like looking over your shoulder and thinking, oh, this is going to be a tough season. So yeah, they've had a few good moments, but also some bad ones. Portsmouth are the team who are top of the league at the moment. That was their last game. They lost 4-2 there. They actually had 2 games against Portsmouth earlier in 2024 in the league, and then also in the cup game, which they lost. They had to take them to extra time, and they lost in extra time, unfortunately. But they've had a good cup run in the FA Cup. They beat Lewis, who are a championship side, so that's a good little sort of statement saying they can play against teams in a division above. That then lost against Charlton 4-1 in the next round, but took the lead in that game and played pretty well despite the 4-1 scoreline. But yeah, just one of those seasons where it's sort of they'd lost too many games, too many mistakes, but this occasion will sort of round it off a little bit, even though there's nothing to play for now. Obviously, they're playing a team who are very, very struggling, but it's just one of those seasons where they'll just move on from, and hopefully next season will be better.
The league system, of course, within women's football was quite interesting. Last season, it was where the 2 league winners of the North and South division, I think, they went up against each other, and only one of those teams went up, which is ridiculous. and quickly changed. The system, as you explained to me, has kind of changed going into this season, where the two league winners automatically go up, and then they have the playoff in the same way with the second place team, which I think makes a bit more sense, and hopefully in the future will give the Tractor Girls that kind of platform to push on, because the championship, if they can reach it, is quite a high level. I mean, it might sound obvious, but one division below the Women's Super League, which you've seen shown on Sky every single week. So it shows what they can go and achieve. And the interesting part of it, as you mentioned, is the fact that it is a really young team. It's a really young group. I think you've got players kind of as young as 17, about 17 to 22 is about the average age. Players that are older than that are really seen as the experienced ones. Let's bring up the last 11 from that Portsmouth game. Ross, talk me through it. Who are the main ones to look out for going into this game?
Yeah, very young team. They've always been a young team under Joe Sheehan. He's always used that in terms of like he's got that academy there who he's always wanting to bring players through. And even the players who are a bit older now were making their debuts at 16. Now we've got obviously players making their debuts at 16 and 17, 18 and stuff like that. But yeah, I won't go through the whole team because we did a podcast with Maria Boswell. Of course, me and AJ on the Kings of Anglia podcast. So listen to that if you haven't already. And we went through the whole squad. But I'll pick out a few players. Of course, you've got to look at Maria Boswell, the captain, who leads by example, who is actually playing out of position at centre half. She's actually a right back, but because of injuries and stuff, she's had to play centre back. But she's done very well there. And yeah, she'll be leading the team out, which will be a special day for her, but also the whole team, obviously. Then you look at the midfield duo. In a way, it's Sam Morsey and Massimo Luongo, but with hair, because you've got Kyra Robertson and Bonnie Horwood, who long hair. Obviously, both Morsey and Luongo have got hair, but they're long hair. But yeah, Bonnie and Kyra are two fantastic midfielders. Bonnie is the most experienced player in the squad, has played at the highest level, has played in the Super League and the Championship before. And then you've got Kyra Robertson, who just breaks up play, who loves to tackle. And also she's a great player to watch on the ball. She's just there, here, and then everywhere, all action. So look out for Kyra. Then you've got the attacking. Obviously, Natasha Thomas is a name that I'm sure a lot of Town Women's fans, just fans in general, will know because she's the all-time record goal scorer. Recently made her 200th appearance for the club, which is the third player to ever do that. And yeah, she leads the line, of course, number 7, and just scores goals. And I'm sure she's going to be well up for this. She's actually the only player in this team who has played at Portman Road before. She played in that game back in 2019. But yeah, a player that will be leading the line. Then you've got, Sophie Prescott, who her numbers are incredible. This season, she's come back from an ACL injury last season. This is her first season back from that. 11 goals, 16 assists on that right wing, up and down. She excites you. She just loves to take on players. And I'm sure she'll be whipping balls in for Natasha Thomas and maybe scoring herself. And then you've got Lena Gunning-Williams, who may be recognisable for some people. She was the star of Jamie Johnson as Jack in that CBBC show. So another player who is on loan from Spurs and has scored some good numbers as well this year. Another player that excites you when she gets on the ball and doesn't mind a shot from range. But yeah, I can cover all the team and mention all of them. They all have a moment, I'm sure, but I'm sure they're all up for this and a big moment for them in their careers.
Absolutely. And coming up against a Chatham team that, well, hasn't really been the ideal season for them in terms of the way that they've been competing towards the bottom end of the table. I believe that they can be relegated in the game tomorrow as a result dependent, results elsewhere, but it's not looking ideal for them. What can you tell us about what to expect from Chatham Town?
Yeah, Chatham not had a good season, unfortunately. I'm sure they're going to be still up for this because it's a stadium game for them. But yeah, in terms of their season, it's not been good. They haven't won a single league game this year. They've won a few cup matches, but in terms of league games, not a single win. I think they've had 6 draws, so they've got 6 points on the doors. But yeah, second bottom, and they're pretty much down. And we beat them back in October, I think it was, a 6-1 win. Natasha Thomas scored twice in that game. Leonard Gunner-Williams scored an absolute screamer in that game. So if you want to check that out, check it out. But they're a team who they've got experience in their lineup, and they've also a bit physical as well. I don't know if that would change at Portman Road because they play on a 3G surface. So going to a carpet like Portman Road may bring out a different style of play for Chatham. I'm sure Town players can't wait to play on that surface because that's what, they've got the same DNA as Kieran McKenna's team in terms of the football we play around the back, and just the football we play is exciting, and so get ready for that. But Chatham, I'm sure they're going to be well up for it though. I think they're probably going to come here with no fear because at the end of the day, they want to spoil the Ipswich Town Women's Party, don't they? Because this is going to be a big occasion for the club. I feel sorry though for one Town player in particular, Holly Turner, because she's actually currently on loan at Chatham Town, and obviously she won't be able to play because the loan agreement and stuff. I think she's still going to be there on the day to support, the whole occasion. But I feel sorry for her a little bit, but just one of those things. But Chatham Town could be an interesting opponent, and we shall see what the score will be.
A potential banana skin then, and I'm going to push you, since you said we'll see what the score will be. And we do this on Boot Rooms. I don't know if you've been prepared for this. Ross, I'm going to push you for a score prediction. Come on.
Yeah, it's always tricky. Always, we sometimes do this on the way to games and go, "Oh, what could we score?" and stuff like that. I always like to go a little bit rogue sometimes, my score predictions. I think there will be goals. Maybe a cagey first 10 minutes, maybe, players just getting, or it could be just a quick fire goal and then that can lead to many goals, just like the Sheffield Wednesday game last weekend. Maybe I'll go that same scoreline, maybe 6-0, and the goals will be spread out. So I'm going to go for a 6-0 win. A few goals, maybe 6 different goal scorers. Why not? That'd be nice. I've already said to some of the players they need to celebrate in front of me or just any camera, because the problem sometimes with some of the players, they go and hug each other in the middle of the pitch. But no, they want proper celebrations and connect with the fans. So 6-0, and that'll be a good day at Portman Road.
Would be a good day indeed. I'll put mine out there as well. I'm going to go with 4-0. I think it could be quite a cagey, uncomfortable one, but it's clear that they're the better team. And I'm going to go with an interesting one here. You've gone with 6 different goal scorers. I'm going to go with a Natasha Thomas hat-trick. I think she's going to bag 3 goals to mark a really monumental occasion at Portman Road. It would be fantastic. Thank you for listening to this. Hopefully it has given another bit of good insight going into the game. We have got some more bits up at the moment that you can listen to. For those of you that might not be as familiar with kind of the women's game, we've got the KOA pod with Maria Boswell. I'm having a moment here. We're crossing over the players. We had a KOA pod with Maria Boswell, which was absolutely fantastic to have her on, and she gave a really good insight kind of into the growth of women's football and the occasion behind the game, the season so far, and spoke with Ross at length about the squad. So to get a better insight on that, we've got that one there. Natasha Thomas has been on Tractor Girls Talk as well, so go and listen to that one. Both of those available on all your usual podcasting platforms. But otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for what will be just a fantastic day out. If you haven't got your ticket yet, go get it. You know you want to be there. It's going to be brilliant. 8,500 sold so far. If you're not, you can't make it, come follow up with us. I'll be there. Ross will be there. We'll be covering the game with Tom Can, who does all the usual women's football stuff. So we'll see you tomorrow.